What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about Polestar. I want to go over some of the current data points, what shorts are doing, as well as why I feel Polestar is in serious trouble. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Starting off, Polestar is down, or did go down 5.8% today. It did land exactly at their 52-week and all-time low of 72 cents. When it comes down to volume, it has been relatively okay over this last little bit. I do feel, though, a lot of that is linked to algorithmic trading. I'm going to talk on that in a second, but 8.7 million shares were traded. 8.4 is the average. So these are some of the transactions that have occurred on the secondary market. So often enough, big money overlooks Polestar. There's been a couple transactions here and there, some of which has been selling. So the last transaction that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000 was on June the 11th, and that was for a premium of $110,000. So like I've said, and like I've said for a while, in fact, institutions just overlook Polestar. And just to give you an overview of what it currently is based on the last round of 13Fs, ownership for Polestar, 21.64 million held by institutions, 222.89 by strategic entities, and then 223.41 that is by other, aka retail. So institutions own about 4.62% of the float. And I think that in turn has really no support levels, because retail, which, yeah, retail's fine. You and I, we're good guys. Everyone who's watching, I'm sure, or girls, whatever. But generally, we don't have the buying power to really keep a stock higher. And plus, we're not orchestrated, right? Let's say I want to sell and you want to buy, like, obviously we're going to counter each other's transactions. Whereas institutions, they tend to be larger in capacity and can really move a stock. So in order for any stock, not necessarily just Polestar, but for any stock to really survive, you need institutions on your side. And this in reality has been one attributing factor really working against Polestar. And in fact, it's actually gone down quite a lot. So at one time when I first started to cover Polestar, I think the institutional percentage was maybe around 25%. So it has gone down a lot. And this is why I'm saying that they are in trouble, because even aside from them not submitting their earnings and that whole grayness about that, you did see one very big abnormal transaction that was done right here. And so this is batching, so that won't necessarily be in this. It was just a lot of smaller transactions by one entity. And so of course it doesn't really pick up on here, but one entity did sell, and it was roughly around 271,000 shares, give or take, unless it rolled over into the next minute or so. But a lot of money did get out. And so of course, going back over here, that is a telltale sign that a entity did sell out. So 271,000 shares, it could be State Street, BlackRock, there's many of them out there, but nonetheless, they are selling. So it's a very unfortunate scenario how Polestar is. And again, when they do submit their earnings, that might rectify a lot of things. But I think at this stage in the game, the damage is done. And one thing that you need to really keep in mind is if a stock is trading below $1 for 30 consecutive trading days, this is where, in theory, the NASDAQ will say, bye-bye. So just to give you an overview, I haven't really looked at it in a very long time, in fact, but moving over to the 1 day. So it's been trading under $1 ever since, it looks like, going over here. So as of May the 21st. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 days. And of course, based on the NASDAQ ruling, it has to be 30 consecutive trading days. So Polestar is this close away from kind of being on the chopping block, or at least forcing Polestar to do a reverse stock split and continue the massive death spiral that, of course, a lot of other EVs have gone down. So I think in reality, Polestar is just hanging on by a thread. Even when it comes down to shorts, they did return about 425,000 shares today. And in case you do not know, by shorts returning shares, they're adding buying pressure. So shorts were able to return some shares and it didn't do jack all to the stock price. So it's a very unfortunate scenario. Utilization 71.1%, cost to borrow is 8.22%, 26.74 million shares overall are being shorted. It still does show NA right here because I think right now Ortex is still glitching behind the scenes because Polestar was supposed to submit their earnings. So I think has some correlation with that, but still nonetheless, by shorts returning, it's a very, very big red flag. So let me know your thoughts on that. And not to make things kind of worse, but there was this. So European Union announces additional tariffs on China EVs. So it does depend itself on if the company is based in China or not. So for instance, NIO and many of those companies, yeah, they're going to get really royally screwed. Companies such as Polestar that they are just starting to manufacture out there, they are getting hit with a 21% tariff. And that's not even counting the states. This is just European Union. So I think right now Polestar is in just a world of pain, and it's not going to be up until the summer. That's when they can actually start to produce in the States. So kind of eliminating that bridge, so that additional tariff, I think that gives them the in, at least with the States. But Polestar is just every single aspect of Polestar, it seems to be just massively burning up in a flame. And so this is why I did allude in my last video that this could be a good takeover. Some people ask me, how could I determine that and whatever. Usually whenever a company has and is able to produce something, just for whatever external reason their business fails, well, that offers a good opportunity. So going over here, so right now the market cap is 1.61 billion. I have brought up the PS ratio a lot, many videos in fact, and Polestar by far is one of the most discounted EVs out there. The PS ratio right now is 0.6, the future is 0.4. So the market is actually factoring in close to bankruptcy levels, very close. And so logically, a bigger entity might look at Polestar and see some value in them enough that they're willing to buy them out. Might not be here, might be pretty much a fraction of this price, but given that Polestar might be doing a reverse stock split and going down kind of that death spiral, it could actually shave off another 50% easily in the next month and a half. So definitely things might be in a world of pain for Polestar. So I think right now, tread lightly. I'm not a financial advisor. You guys do whatever floats your boat and justify and everything like that. But yeah, definitely Polestar is not looking all that good. When it comes down to options, very little dollar value getting in. So 14,000 in calls, 7,400 in puts, 57% of all the options being done today are optimistic and bullish, but that's more oriented towards it just being above $1 by July. So obviously, like I just mentioned, that's not going to cut it for the whole NASDAQ ruling. So they'll be kind of on the chopping block even before that does expire, before the July 19th. So not the best. And then looking at puts, nobody's really doing puts, like I kind of mentioned. So when it comes down to Polestar right now, with it sitting at 72 cents, next strong support you want to watch for is 70 cents exactly, or I guess we're sitting at 72. So 70 cents is the next one. Below that is 52 and then 24. So vice versa, you just want to watch for that dollar mark. So this pivot point to be the next strong resistance / target. But unless they do submit their earnings and it's all of this is just blown out of proportion and it's not actually that bad, then yes, you'll see a very nice buying opportunity potentially for it to be above this pivot point. But like I said, I think just this really shows the sentiment when it comes to Polestar, because if people did truly believe in Polestar and that these earnings were not that bad, then it would be trading back above $1. But clearly people just do not believe in or trust Polestar right now. So it's a very unfortunate scenario. So let me know your thoughts. Give yourself a shout out. Have you been buying though? Have you been selling? Like, what have you been doing with Polestar? I have been covering Polestar for a very long time, much of which has been just very unfortunate events, me just explaining why Polestar is going down. And often enough, it's actually the same thing, just institutions not getting in, not adding these support levels, and then back in the day when it was around $10, I think shorts were a little bit more active in it. Right now, they're not. They're just sitting back and letting just Polestar destroy itself. So it's a tough stock to continuously cover. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.